It's feminine to check the selfie for too long. You could take the selfie, but don't look at it, just post it. And if your knob's out, oh well. Hello there, guys. My name is Comedian. Happy Pride. Seriously, happy Pride. I am a big fan of the gays. And I have to be careful saying this because it's gone to the point of almost, let's say, objectifying. Because I feel like, with who I am, as first impressions might betray, I am quite a fairly bog standard, slightly boring, cis-het person. But I genuinely love gay people, as in most of my friends are gay or in the LGBTQ community. I don't really get along that well with other cis-het guys. I'm not really into the whole toxic masculinity thing. Not a big fan of the patriarchy. I just find it awkward being in a room full of men who are like, ladies, beef flaps. Like, I'm not really into that. I feel like much more myself around rainbow people, shall we say, to the point where, like, it's gotten bad. Like, I've started feeling guilty about it. Like, my wife, other comedian, came back from her new job and she's like, oh, there's this lesbian friend at my work. And I was like, oh, you should make friends with her. We need more friends. It's bad. But anyway, aside from, my personal selfishness, Pride Month is great. If you're watching and you are in the LGBT community, which I just butchered, know that I love you and support you, and I'm happy you're here. Happy Pride, all that stuff. Now I've got that mess out the way, also be friends with me. Now I've got that mess out the way, I'd also like to say happy Patreon for Thursdays. It's the day of the week when my patrons pick out a video for me to react to. And this week, because my patrons are also an enlightened, lovely bunch of people, they picked out this video, which is BTS supporting the LGBTQ plus community and breaking gender stereotypes. Brackets, happy Pride Month, obviously. So yeah, a perfect video for today. I think you'll agree. So thank you to my patrons suggesting it. Thank you to Wenslet for suggesting this video and everyone who voted on that. If you want to take part in this and suggest other gay stuff for me to react to, or just be my gay BFF, join my Patreon, obviously. The easiest way to a cis-het person's heart is with money, obviously. Anyway, before I incriminate myself further or lose all the friends I currently have, let's just get this thing going. Like the video, subscribe, get comfy, grab a drink. Do. It's gonna skip this crap this time. Oh no, there's less crap this time. BTS showing support to the LGBTQ plus community and breaking gender stereotypes.
여자인가 남자인 건가?
얘는 뭐
사실 이 친구들의 성별을 아직 다 정해놓은 게
사실 난 이 모든 캐릭터 성별이 없었어.
네, 저도 그랬으면 좋겠어.
They're talking about their BTS 21, right? Their characters. I'm assuming. I haven't seen this.
이 두 가지 성으로 정리 많이.
Although now I've said that, I think there is a character. There's like a cartoon character on that table, but also Sugar's holding a pencil with like a cookie on top, and I thought that was a character, which it might not be. It might just be a pencil with a cookie on top.
Your Hollywood crush, actress.
Brad Pitt.
Good for you. Because it is. Oh, that is so cis-het normative. Am I right, guys? Is that the right? I'm asking literally. Am I right? Is that the right terminology? I don't know. I'm not woke, but it is so American and cis-hetty on a hat on top to say to a group of 7 people, like, which actress do you like? There's 7 people, mate. I think 1 in 10 people are gay. Like, the odds are not in your favor there.
To say there are still 34 states that have no laws banning conversion therapy. 34. And on top of that, 58% of our LGBTQ population.
This is cool.
States. This can change, but it's going to take...
I feel like I'm giving RM a lot more credit. I think Jungkook's like, everyone's cheering, I'll cheer, but he did just cheer for the fact that 58% of gay people live in states that oppressed him. He's like, yes. RM's like, hooray, I support the gay people. And Jungkook's like, no, I support the oppressing states. Good. More gay people in oppressive states, please.
State legislation pushing forward laws to protect We've seen with conversion therapy that our LGBTQ youth have double the rate of depression, triple the rate of suicide after conversion therapy. It's not working, it needs to change. Thank you.
That is like the most polite way of saying it. It's not working. As if anyone doing conversion therapy really thought it was working. As if they were really like, oh, it's not working. Oh, but I was doing this to be nice. No one doing conversion therapy is doing it to be nice.
You told us that your album Love Yourself Her was part of a new era, right? So, and you wanted your fans to learn to love themselves and learn what true love is. So I'm gonna ask you guys, what does true love mean to you?
We always, like when we don't have a like boyfriend or girlfriend, we always say like, oh, I'm so lonely, I wanna date, you know, something like that. But I thought the biggest love
I want to be friends with BTS.
we all searching is like the love for oneself. So, I mean, like if you want to love others, I think you should love yourself or myself first.
You mentioned you want a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Do you guys have time to date? You're so busy.
사랑이라는 게 꼭 뭔가 이게
So I think there's a lot of different kinds of love, not just between a boyfriend and girlfriend, but love with your family, love with the people around you. So I think that's really important. And I think if more people, love the people around you and love the world and love each other, I think that will really, be a good thing for the world. And
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd like to ask all of you,
It's not limited to a girl. That seems pretty
what
direct.
is your name?
Comedian.
Excites you and makes your heart beat.
Cheese.
Tell me your story.
Where to begin?
Hear your voice. I wanna hear your conviction. No matter who you are, where you're from, your skin color, your gender identity, just speak yourself.
I saw that you guys actually addressed it in a recent Rolling Stone interview. But I think it's something that it brings a lot of curiosity for people in the West, because the concept of what it means to be masculine in
This lobby music's a curious choice for. I guess it works all right with this, but for putting the weird lobby music over the UN speech was interesting.
the West tends to be different in the East. Now, BTS, along with the genre of Korean pop, because it's so visual, it continues to set new precedent on what the concept of masculinity is. If you could, expand on any of that, that'd be great.
So we didn't have any like a certain intentions to redefine the masculinity and or the manly, but it always feels good that we can have this positive effect or influence to any categories,
And I like the way he's defined that as like not attempting to redefine it. I don't think that's him backing down, being like, oh, it's a coincidence. I think that's him being like, we're just being ourselves, expressing ourselves the way we want to. And surprise, surprise, it doesn't fit into the minuscule box that is what society says a man can be. Shockingly.
that include us too. So, and I think we're living in the age and the time that the label that we call masculine or manly is kind of like disappearing and vanishing.
Good. Good.
한다고 생각해. 특히 이제 시대성에 좀 많이 변화를 한다고 생각을 하는데.
Oh, he's such a expertly spoken person.
한
I mean, this is what you call a glow up. No, I don't think anyone really. Maybe like 2% of people are looking at this being like, oh, I like them. They look better back here. I mean, what isn't even on? Is that sugar? What is even on his face? It looks like he's one of my spam bots in my chat I've had to lock away.
근데 지금 보면
스키니 입고 다 막.
Sup, Lizette?
이렇게 하이탑에
맞아.
그때 그렇게 입었으면 저 힙합 아니다 이런 식으로 이야기했었어요. 그런 식으로 이제 시대에 맞춰서 계속 변화해 나간다고 생각해요. 모든 정의나 모든 개념들은.
Okay, interesting.
오셨으니까 힙합은 사실 또
Somewhat manly. That's how I describe myself. Somewhat manly.
이기도 하고 여기 이런 래퍼들이 가사에서 예를 들어서 폴트 앨범에도 그런 구절이 있어요. 게이 같은 외모 남자로 돌려놔 이런.
Right, brilliant. That is like Shakespeare. That is poetry. That's brilliant. I mean, imagine like you've sat down in your room, you locked yourself away, you got through writer's block. People are like, "Where's the comedian? I'm worried about him." He's like, "Oh, he's up there. He's working on some genius lyrics." I come down and say, "I've got it. I've got it, people. I've got the lyric. You look gay. Look more like a man. Genius."
무대에 올라갔을 때 뭐 분장을 한다거나 뭐 이런 것들에 대해 그런 것들에 방탄소년단이 무대에 올라갔을 때 뭐 이제 분장을 한다거나 어떤 메이크업을 하는 거에 대해 어떤 힙합과
분장 쓰는 게 아니라 여자.
What? Shut the front door. Come on.
Wow.
여자같이 입고 다니는 게 여자냐?
누가?
뭐 그런 분들. 방탄소년
Where to even begin? It's the same logic as being like, "What? But you've got nipples, and ladies have nipples. I rest my case."
아닌 것 같고요. 그런 뭐 스모킹 화장이나 그런 거에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시나요?
저 스모킹 화장 같은 경우에는 아직도 되게 본연적으로 그 거부감이 있고 사실 막 별로 하고 싶진 않아요. 사실 왜냐면 저도 뭐 이 힙합 문화라는 게 굉장히 이해하고 게이 같다 이런 부분에 대해서 상당히 이해를 하지만 사실 저는 진짜 둘 다 이해가 돼서 진짜 뭐 말씀드리기 애매한데 정말 둘 다 이해가 돼요. 근데
그럼 하고 싶은 게 뭐예요?
네?
하고 싶은 게 뭐예요?
RM firmly fence sitting.
둘 다 이해하고 둘 다 하고 싶고 힙합 문화를 그만큼 이해하면은 본인이 하고 싶은 게 뭐예요? 그렇게
Sugar looks like he's about to get mad. I look like he get mad too.
하고 싶은 게 뭐예요? 왜 그걸 하고 있는 거예요?
방송 때 들어보신 분은 아시겠지만 뭐 레모트도 그렇고 저도 그렇고 아마 저 같은 경우는 대구에서 계속 음악을 하다 올라온 것도 있고 레모트도 이제 계속 음악을 하는 분이었는데 사실 뭐 저 같은 경우는 많은 사람들한테 그냥 제 목소리를 들려주고 제 음악을 들려주고 있었어요.
I mean, fair enough. Right, they were like 19 and 20.
Here at the UN, one of the core values in sustainable development is educating women and having gender equality. You have a lot of female fans. What would you say to them about gender equality and working towards that?
개인적으로 2015년과 16년에 그러니까 몇 년 전에 이제 미소지니 관련해서 굉장히 좀 뭐랄까 지적도 굉장히 많이 들었었고 실제로 여성학 교수님께 좀 뭐 제 가사를 좀 검수를 받는다.
I mean, respect. That we need more of that in today's world, which is like people being willing to confer with the experts, being like, maybe I got this wrong, I'll defer to the experts. People are doing the opposite of that these days.
저 스스로에 대해서 되게 많이 돌아보면서 제가 너무 젠더 이퀄리티 문제나 혹은 이런 성평등 문제에 너무 관심이 없는 건가라는 생각을 많이 했어요. 제가 할 수 있는 한에서 제가 계속 이 문제에 관심을 갖고 공부하고 나아지려는 노력을 하는 모습을 보이고 싶다. 저는 이 정도로까지 제가 얘기할 수 있어요.
Solid perspective. And on camera. And in front of a pretty lady.
나와 다르다고 그것은 잘못된 일이 아닙니다. 옳고 그름이 아닌 다름을 인정하는 것으로부터 평등은 시작된다고 생각합니다.
Why is love such an
1000%. In fact, this makes me want to find a tweet that I saw from Sean T, who I used to do so many of his hip hop abs workout back in the day. I go to the gym now. I go outside occasionally, so now I mostly just follow him on social media because he's got some great opinions. I like what he says, but this is the tweet he said where he said, "For the longest time, I tried to hold on to friends and followers because I wanted to inspire as many people as possible. Recently, this world has become so insanely turbulent, I no longer have the time or interest to connect with others who don't understand or believe that living fairly and freely is the path to all of us enjoying our life to the fullest." And that is my opinion too, entirely. Like my old therapist, I used to actually rant about, like far-right people fascists basically to him, and he always came back with this mindset of like, well, you know, surely it's good to like listen to all people. It's like, well, no, I'm not in that mindset. I'm over that mindset. Like, if you have opinions that are hateful and actively oppress others, they're not opinions to me. It's just sludge. It's just human filth. I've got no interest in it. I've got no, you know, it's the paradox of intolerance thing. But anyway, this last sentence in his tweet pic, you know, really spoke to me, because I've thought this for a long time and I've struggled to express it as well as he did. But Sean T, the man, the myth, the human bulldozer, said, "If this is you, please exit the stage left, because what you are about to digest is likely not for your closed mind. But before you go, I'll know that you are likely in the closet about something you wish others would accept you wholly for." And that is just the biggest, most genius like diss ever. And it's the sad reality as well. And I've expressed this in some other videos, but maybe not very you know, not as well as that, and maybe not very directly, or didn't quite convey it the way I want to, because I know, basically in my past videos, I've expressed the idea that I think, you know, there are plenty of gay people out there who actually live a life more truthful to themselves than straight people. But the caveat on that statement should be, you know, people who are in communities where they can be open, you know, like liberal enclaves in America or whatever, like places where they can actually express themselves. But in general, even people who know they are gay and accept it, even if they can't express it in their community, they might still be more in tune with who they actually are deep down, the person they really are, compared to people, you know, bigots often, you know, I know it's a cliche and it's not always true. It's not always true that people who are homophobic are in the closet. It's kind of a meme to say that, and it's not necessarily useful because it's not always true. But the reality is that most people have, not even most people, everyone has some aspect about themselves they never want to share with something shameful, a weird memory, something weird they did as a kid, some weird kink they have. That's probably a big one. Everyone has something about themselves, or opinion they have, or just something about themselves that they don't want to share with anyone else, that's personal to them. But the difference is, you know, people like homophobes, those kind of people, they are actively trying to turn society to a place where everyone hides every part of themselves. And I think the biggest part, and I often think a big motivation in homophobia and that, is that when you've been brought up in a society that tells you it's not okay to be yourself, you should follow these Victorian ideals, don't be too happy, don't dance, don't sing in public, you know, don't be too loud, no PDA, no kissing anywhere. Like when you're brought up in a Victorian society that was probably invented by, you know, let's face it, narcissists and psychopaths, you know, hundreds of years ago, and a society tells you if you want to be a normal person, participate in society, you have to hide yourself away, not express any joy. Love is a stigma. Don't show love. Don't say I love you to people. When you're brought up with all this toxic stuff, and you see other people expressing themselves, wearing pink even, living life in a way that you know you never could, it makes you angry. So either you choose to think, I was lied to, or if you're more simple-minded, you double down on that lie. You know, it's like that thing, it's like the investment, the fallacy, you know, the sunk cost fallacy. You're like, well, I've already spent my whole life being hateful and denying everything and being ignorant, so I'm not going to change now. So, you know, so then you turn that anger at other people. Anyway, what I've just done again there is express what Sean T said in like one word in about 50, but, you know, fully support that mentality and this message about Sugar saying how it's not wrong to be different. Everyone's different, and our differences is what makes us unique and special, and you've heard this a billion times, but it's true. And it's a shame that there are still so many aspects of societies all over the world that try and suppress people's differences, you know.
와 다르다고 그것은 잘못된 일이 아닙니다. 옳고 그름이 아닌 다름을 인정하는 것으로부터 평등은 시작된다고 생각합니다.
Why is love such an important message for this era?
You know, I think we feel like there's too many hate and, you know, like bad things going on in this, like all over the world, not just in Korea or in America. So I think love, you know, not just between the man and woman or, you know, or genders. I mean, the love for, you know, just for others. And of course, the most important thing is love within yourself. So I think love is the key for the reconciliation and integration for all the society.
솔직히
wholesome messages.
불구하고 멤버들을 잘 알 정도로 이렇게 정답을 많이 맞춘 게 그래가지고 저는 아무래도 남은 여생 형 뭐라 그랬죠? 남은
방탄 멤버들과 함께 하겠다고.
전 방탄 멤버들과 결혼하겠습니다. 좋습니다.
우리 아빠를 화장실에서 너 변신.
That one's iffy.
되게 궁금해요. 옛날부터 되게 궁금했어요. 우리 아빠한테도
Most dads could probably use a little bit of makeup, let's face it. Or some moisturizer at the very least. I love the word really. Let's really do it. As in, no, please. I'm really bored and horny. Let's really do it. All right. Nice. I think I remember that. Wasn't that from like Bon Voyage or something? Yeah, I think it was. And Bon Voyage reactions can be seen on my Patreon. But yeah, I like that moment because this is quite, I think this was like filmed in 2017 or something. It's already a few years ago anyway. But he's just like, there you go. What it wants to be like. What genetic thing says that men cannot check their selfies? I like how the goalposts have moved. It's like, it's pretty feminine to take a selfie. Like it used to be a thing, only women take selfies, but now it's like, well, Instagram's big, so men are taking selfies, but they're like, it's feminine to check the selfie for too long. You could take the selfie, but don't look at it, just post it. And if your knob's out, oh well.
상남자인데 향이 되게 민감해요. 향에? 그래서 화장품을 굉장히 많이 모아요.
여자 화장품을 모으는 거예요?
이 여자 향이 나는 화장품을 모아요.
그래요?
아니에요. 되게 향수나 뭐 향초나 화장품 이런 것들을 좀
남자 화장품입니까?
A pervert. I wasn't going to go there. I was going to go with like, if you're going to be silly about it, I was going to be like, well, maybe he's a serial killer, but also maybe he just likes the way they smell. Or he's a serial killer who likes the way they smell. There's so many options.
공룡이에요. 되게 약간 향수 같은 거 되게 남자 거 여자 거 안 가리고 되게 많이 먹어.
Oh, especially when it comes to like, obviously it's on personal taste, but when it comes to like shower gel and stuff like that, if you are buying men's stuff, you are missing out on an aroma, a spectrum of flavors and delight. Like men's shower gel could not be any more boring. It's the worst. And they all have names like Tiger Spunk, Giraffe Peel, like.
오늘 라우브 봤어, 라우브. 그 가수 라우브 아시죠? 오늘 와주셔서 너무 감사드렸습니다. 손에 이렇게 매니큐어 했는데 되게 색다른데? 나도 한번 해볼까?
Honestly, I think one of the nicest things about being BTS and being as rich and famous as they are is you can wear whatever you want. And I think that's something that just occurred to me. There's a very interesting dichotomy where with celebrities, they kind of, people will be like, oh, celebrities are always dressing up crazy, they're dressing up weird. Is it? And I used to kind of not subscribe to that, but I guess I used to hear it and be like, checks out, that logic checks out. I'm not, that makes sense, immediately in my brain. But now I'm thinking about it, is it not more realistic that celebrities, well, obviously they can buy more clothes, they have the money to buy more wacky clothes if they want, but more than that, they just have the power and self-confidence and like the untouchableness of being able to wear whatever they want. They can defy society's rules because society's already put them on a pedestal. It's not going to take them down again unless some really crazy shit happens. So, looking back, all these celebrities that are wearing weird clothes, and tabloids would say, oh, they're doing it for attention. Much more likely they were being like, well, that looks cool. I want to try that on. And I'm a celebrity, so you can't stop me. Like, if only everyone had that mindset, people would look a lot more interesting. This is me branching out and trying something new, and I didn't even buy this shirt. Like, this is me being daring. I quite like polo shirts, and there's certain cishet looks I enjoy, but I do go into like vintage stores sometimes and feel like, what would I wear if I was slightly less afraid, I guess.
Louder Than Bombs Live. 와, 그거 애들이 많이 연습해야 될 텐데 그 노래가 엄청 어려워요. That song is hard, girl. Boy. Or man or woman.
Nice. You missed a few.
싶은 아이였던 것 같고 지금은 척은 안 해도 되는 느낌인 것 같아요. 그냥 자연스럽게 얘기할 수 있는.
Good for you. Maybe you'll get there. Damn. Even aside from like the fact that's probably getting a few people, that's probably ticking a few boxes for a few people. Like the skill to dance in heels like that. Seriously. Like I trip over my own shoes sometimes, and they're as flat as they get. They're as flat as my chest and booty, if we're being honest.
진짜 어이가 없네 진짜. 이게 바로 팀의 리더입니다, 여러분. 아, 이게 바로 심쿵이니까 이게 말 보이크러시.
Pause to read. Excellent. I'll be the narrator if you want. Or you could meet me and narrate yourself, whatever. There is this culture where masculinity is defined by certain emotions, characteristics. I'm not fond of these expressions, Sugar tells me. What does being masculine mean? People's conditions vary day by day. Sometimes you're in a good condition, sometimes you aren't. Based on that, you get an idea of your physical health, and that same thing applies mentally. Some days you're in a good state, sometimes you're not. Many pretend to be okay, saying that they're not weak, as if that would make you a weak person. I don't think that's right. People won't say you're a weak person if your physical condition is not that good. It should be the same for mental condition as well. Society should be more understanding. Yep. That and this. Well, you can say that again. He's got like Harry Potter Quidditch jumper on, I like it. Oh, he's wearing a skirt, well there you go. Isn't that a kilt? Which is interesting because I could be wrong about this, but I feel like traditional Korean dress, when I've seen them wearing it on Run BTS and stuff, kind of is skirt-ish. Let me look it up. Traditional Korean male, because I could be wrong about this, but just from... I know it's more of like a robe, but it's so it's just so arbitrary how, like, you know, like this, you know, this... Let's see if I can blow this up. Open image in new tab, sure. Like this, you know, hundreds of years ago, whenever it was, this would have been like the peak of masculinity. You'd look at that and be like, what a man, he's packing several giant sausages down there, you know? But now it looks like a dress, so it's like, oh, that's girly. Like my point is, fashion is so arbitrary, and to the tying of gender and masculinity to fashion, it's just the most pointless thing. And I wish I'd been brought up in a world where, you know, maybe like 30, 40 years in the future, clothes will be much more androgynous, people worry about this stuff less. You know, it's that thing I was saying earlier. I want to go into a vintage store and just buy anything, you know. If I want to look like this, so be it. Why not? Oh, those pink shoes. I want them so badly. Just need a few more $1,000. Somebody wants to super chat me $1,000 for those shoes? Go for it, please. My brain can't take on this information that quickly. Yep, these are all clothes. Who wore it better? See, a crop top for a guy makes sense. If you got some abs and you want to show them off, what better way than to only wear half a jumper? It's like the top half is warm, the nipples are protected, which is what really matters. The nipples need to stay warm. The rest, the abs can breathe free. Or a corset. Someone in my chat just said, if you're interested in that, you could look into the topic of male flight. Much of the stuff we consider feminine was used to be worn by men, and then when some women used them, men stopped. Wow, that's a topic you could go on about forever. I'm pretty sure I read that in the Victorian era, pink was the manly colour and blue was a girly colour. So it just swapped. It's just so arbitrary. And the fact that people subscribe to this stuff is just like... Just think, you know? Like, surely the second you'd hear that, you'd be like, I've been living a lie, but some people either don't want to hear it or they hear it and just suppress it because, like I said earlier, they're already committed to this lie. You know, that like it's like the sunk cost fallacy. They've been living this life for so long. It's like it's much easier just to be like, no, that's wrong. Girl is pink, pink girl pink, blue boy blue. Like, I remember once I was driving through the South, luckily only through it, not into it, and to get to the West Coast, it was like a sort of fleeing thing. and I was wearing pink, a pink shorts and the pink shoes, I think. And I got out of the car at this petrol station, and I looked around me, and of everyone, if you guys have been to America or live in America, you'll probably know the type of petrol station. Like, everyone in there was wearing camo. It's amazing I could see them. It's like, so I'm surprised I didn't leave without paying, because everyone was fucking wearing camo in there. And some of them walked in and looked at me like, and it's just like, imagine how fragile your worldview is, where a guy wearing slightly pink shorts like blows your mind. It's like, it's sad. That's not freedom. These people are the ones that like go on about freedom and think they're living free. They're not free. They couldn't be more trapped in their own heads. And especially when you think that, 100 years ago, my shorts would have been the manliest thing ever. I could have slapped my shorts on the table and been like, I don't need to pay. Look at my shorts. And the other irony is that, in a way, by wearing clothes in a situation where people judge you for it, that's manly in the sense that it's kind of like being like, I don't care what you think, I'm going to do me, which takes, bravery, I suppose. But yeah, the whole fashion topic and the idea of gender flight is interesting, because I've obviously heard about white flight, and it's the same kind of thing, like where, you have communities that are mostly white people, and then some black people move in, and suddenly everyone white moves out. It's just like, I don't know, that's where hate and bigotry gets you. I'm so outrageously jealous of their wardrobes, really. Like, imagine having access to all these clothes. My videos would be much more interesting if I had. Okay, the only thing I'm knowing about this, where it says Tay wears Jacquemus, a brand of an openly gay designer, is the thought there are designers that aren't gay? Really? I find that hard to believe. It's got to be a misprint. Imagine being rich. Seriously. I mean, this stuff is all very relevant, but I'm less a fan of the video essay style. I want the clips, I want the raw footage. Jimin smiling. Amazing. Okay, cool.
Well, the song is about how the power of love transcends all things, borders and rules and genders and race and sexuality. If you look at people right now who are divided by a border or can't be together, that's what the song is about how nothing can really stop people loving each other.
Interesting. Man, they brought receipts to this video, but too many receipts, really. I feel like it's reached a point where it's like, I believe you. To be honest, I believed you coming into this. It's almost like they made this video for a homophobe who was like, no, I refuse to believe BTS support the gays. Like, this is overkill.
But now with BTS and K-pop and like,
It certainly has been different in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
With the rise of K-pop, different
different standards for masculinity.
Thinking from the perspective of Americans watching this for the first time, this kind of pushes ideas of what it means to be masculine, of what it means to be a male. And I love that about BTS. Masculine.
See, again, this is probably how I should get some more views. I could put like psychologist reacts to BTS and then disclaimer in the description saying not licensed, trained, or coherent in the English language, you know? Because I do videos from a mental health perspective, but like, what are you supposed to title that as? Mental health, unprofessional reacts to BTS?
Yes, masculinity in America is like difficult to attain and easy to lose. And BTS gives you just
I like that.
a little bit of freedom to express yourself differently and to celebrate just a very different way to identify as male.
That's part of the issue as well. It's like the idea that there's ways to identify as male. It's like there's not, even seeing it as ways is just regressive. It's just like, you know, if, you know, obviously I can't speak much on gender identity because I can only speak about my own or whatever. And I've been thinking about this recently. I really don't think I'm suddenly going to be like, you know what, I'm non-binary, like at this stage in my life. I don't think I'm that fussed. I think the thing is like, I'm perfectly happy identifying as a guy. It doesn't bother me. So therefore my definition, my logic is that's probably all right. Then that probably makes sense for me. But at the same time, like, you know, I feel like it's as simple as that. If you kind of think you're a guy, then you are a guy. So the idea that there's different ways. You could be a guy like this or a guy like this. It's like there's an infinite amount of ways to be a guy, you know. And I also credit going to a lot of drag shows and enjoying them fully as kind of helping me realize that. Okay, cool. Whew. Good video. Went a bit overboard, bit intense with the with the receipts at the end, but at the same time, it is a perfect rebuttal. If anyone tries to claim that BTS don't love the gays, just like me, then you could. Well, for the BTS, you can show them this video. For me, you could show them the intro, and then also maybe use that as proof as the love going too far and becoming objectifying. It's just, you know, I'm a very nostalgic person. I've had, like, there was a town I lived in, or a city I lived in years ago where I had, you know, my wife and I had two best lesbian friends, and we hung out and had a lovely non-patriarchal time, and it was all lovely and fun and great. And I just want to recapture that. So, you know, if I ever meet you in person and you're a lesbian and I get a bit excited about that, I apologize, but I'm just nostalgic for great times and great friendships without the shadow of the patriarchy like ruining it. Anyway, so yes, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Happy Pride Month, guys. Like I said, from me personally and from BTS, it sounds like nothing but love and support. Love you guys. Support everything. You know, huge fan of the rainbow flag as well. You guys get the coolest flag, all of it. Other stuff that's wholesome and stuff like that. You know, I think I'm very grateful. You know, I do credit. I think I've always been open-minded, but I do credit my gay, my transgender, like my, you know, my queer friends as like helping open my mind a bit. And it is a shame that people like kind of, we live in a society where you kind of, I'm not saying you have to know people personally to have your mind opened, but there's a lot of people like, they live in societies where it's so, you know, conservative, so oppressed that even if they might be kind of open-minded deep down, they'll never really encounter people that can change their minds because those people have to hide themselves away. It's just such a great shame. I don't think the world's, you know, perfect, but I think overall the majority might be slimmer than I thought it was, you know, in the past, a bit more cynical these days, but I think there are still more, you know, good people, loving people, open-minded people than there are not. So it's a shame that it seems like the fabric of reality, or, you know, the fabric of society doesn't necessarily reflect that worldwide or whatever. But for myself personally, I'm very grateful to, you know, have been exposed to this kind of stuff and to be open-minded to it, because like, you know, it really has helped for my own identity, you know, realizing like, you know, like how, you know, toxic masculinity, realizing how that affected me, all this stuff, like it, you know, I could not have changed more in the past 10 years, I think. And I do credit a big part of that to my LGBTQ friends. So yeah, I'm, you know, really grateful for anyone watching this video. And if you're a part of that community, big love, happy Pride and all that stuff. If you liked the video and I didn't put you off or scare you away, then please click the subscribe button. Please like the video as well. Let me know in the comments what you thought, or anything else you want to see me react to. Any other like BTS plus gay equals cool type crack videos, I'd be down to check out. Please do check out my Patreon. I mentioned it earlier. I've got Run BTS and Bon Voyage reactions on there. You can be in the credits. You can see all my videos early. You can commission custom reactions, all that fun stuff. So please check out my Patreon. Links in the description. Discord's also down there. Please have a splendid day and a splendid last day or hour or so of Pride. I'll see you soon. Take care. And remember, if you like this reaction to BTS being gay, click the subscribe button. It's totally free.